Today we are fortunate to be observing and celebrating very auspicious festival days. Today is Vasanta Pancami, the beginning of spring. So it's naturally a very happy occasion. Everyone is happy now. Gurudev describes how the flowers begin to bloom in Vraj as a sign that all of the hearts of the Brajabasis, especially the gopis, are starting to blossom with the mood of ras. Ras is coming. The time for ras is coming. All of the flowers are all representatives and expansions of the different gopis. When the gopis are not able to directly embrace Krishna, then they can do that by being in Krishna's curling locks. They can swing and kiss his cheeks. They can embrace him by being in Krishna's garlands. So all these flowers are Krishna's gopis. And at the time of Vasanta Pancami, when the springtime comes, all the flowers begin to bloom in Vraj. This is described to be the king of all seasons, Vasanta Raj. Why is that? Because this is Sri Krishna's expansion. Sri Krishna is Akila Rasamrita Murti Prashri Mara Ruchi Rudaktar Kapali Kalita Shyama Lalito Radha Prayan Vidur Jayati. Krishna is Akila Rasamrita Murti, the emporium of all different loving relationships and mellows. And so at this time of Vasanta Panchami, Krishna is able to fully express all of his loving moods and have this loving exchange with all the Braja Gopis during the Vasanta Ras. But Saradiya Ras is very famous, more famous especially actually, the autumn season Ras. However, Basanti Ras is described to be more sweet and more intimate. During the Saradiya Ras in the fall season, all of the sadhan siddhas or gopis who are just attaining perfection through many lifetimes of practice, they are present. But at Vasanti Ras only the Nitya siddhas are present. Vaishnavas described like this. So this is the day of Vasanta Panchami, the beginning of spring. On this day everyone wears yellow. On this day everything that is cooked is made yellow. So they make sweet rice with saffron, and they make rice with haldi or even yellow food coloring. It's very beautiful on this day. Sabji, dal, mung dal, yellow. Everything is yellow this day. Why? Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Shrimati Radhika. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi. Shrimati Radhika is the effulgence of molten gold, and Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Gauranga, receiving the Anga Kanti, of conflection and effulgence of Shrimati Radhika, Gaurangi. Then Mahaprabhu appears. Sri Krishna appears as Mahaprabhu. Rasika Shekara Krishna Parama Karun Edui Haitu Lila Korea Udgam. So Sri Krishna appears as Mahaprabhu. We are hearing how he takes shelter of Shrimati Radhika and begs from her for her effulgence. And then he appears as Sri Gauranga. So remembering some of the beautiful pastimes of Sri Krishna and the gopis at this time of Vasanta Ras. Srila Gurudev describes how when Krishna hid from the gopis began to search for Krishna everywhere. And Krishna thought in one pastime to try to test the gopis' one-pointedness towards him. So at a place called Paitagram, Krishna assumed the form of Chaturbhuj Narayan, four-armed Narayan. And he was standing there in a murti form, in a mandir, and all the gopis were searching for Krishna, and so they came into that place and saw Chaturbhuj Narayan. And so the test of the devotion of the gopis is that were they enamored by Narayan and sought his shelter? No. Instead, they offered pranam, offered prayers, and said, "Oh Lord Narayan, please tell us, have you seen Krishna? In which direction has he gone? If you are a friend, please tell us this." And internally smiling, Krishna did not say anything. And a little later, what happened? This showed that the gopis' love is completely pure, completely spotlessly pure for Sri Krishna. Ananyas chintayanto mam. Even if Narayan appears before them, any other deva appears before them, their heart does not sway one paramanu away from Sri Krishna. What is a paramanu? It means the smallest distance. The smallest distance is, it says, the amount of time it takes light to cross over an atom. That is that measure of time, the smallest measure. The gopis do not move or sway from Krishna even that much. They're completely devoted to Sri Krishna. However, Srimati Radhika is even greater. How is that? It's described that when Srimati Radhika appeared at that place, Radhika did not have to go and beg Krishna, ask Narayan for anything. Krishna could not hold back himself. He could not retain that form of Lord Narayan, and his arms came back, 2 arms came back into his body. And again, he appeared as Shama Sundara, Shikanda Shekara, Smeraha Samurali Manohara, with a very sweet smile, like showing some bashfulness. Krishna again was standing in his threefold bending form, playing the flute with his peacock feather crown. And Srimati Radhika, you cannot hide from Srimati Radhika. That Krishna can hide even from the gopis, but from Srimati Radhika, her love is so great that Krishna cannot hide in front of her love. Srimati Radhika is therefore supreme. So it's described that Mahabhava Surupatam, that Srimati Radhika is the very embodiment of Mahabhav. All Krishna Prem, the very topmost expression of that divine love is Srimati Radhika. Therefore, all the devotees take shelter of Srimati Radhika. Ramani Shiromani Brisha Bahanu Nandini Nila Vasana Paridhan. She is Ramani Shiromani, the topmost crest jewel of all beautiful maidens. Therefore, all the Braja Gopis take shelter of Srimati Radhika and respect her. So it's described that at Basanti Ras, Mahaprabhu, when he was speaking with Ramananda Roy, Mahaprabhu is asking the glories of the gopis, and especially Srimati Radhika. At that time, Sri Ramananda Roy began to describe Basanti Ras and said that at the time of Basanti Ras, in Saradiya Ras, one pastime occurred, but at Basanti Ras, Srimati Radhika left. And it said that at that moment, Rasa Bangilo, the entire Rasa, Leela pastime, immediately ceased, halted. Satakoti Gopi Majite Hari. That even though Krishna was in the midst of tens of millions of beautiful cowherd maidens in Braj, without Srimati Radhika, it was like the soul had left. Immediately, the dance stopped, and Krishna left, began to seek after Srimati Radhika. He prayed, Esho Esho Radhe Dhakaye Khan. O Radharani Tuhu Vina Kahara Ras. O Srimati Radhika, without you, where's the Ras? Therefore, please, I'm taking shelter of you and praying. And it's described that this is the mood of the gopis when we sing this one song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Chintamani moy radha kundatata, tahe kunja sata sata, prabhala vidru mayat harulata, mukta fale abanata. That this is the scene where Krishna is calling out to Srimati Radhika. Esho esho radhe dhakaye pran. Oh Srimati Radhika, without you I have no life. This is showing Srimati Radhika's topmost position amongst all the gopis. Krishna Kanta Shiromani, she is the topmost beloved of Sri Krishna. All the gopis are manifestations of Srimati Radhika's moods coming from her. So therefore, Krishna wanted to show, Ras Leela in the Srimad Bhagavatam is there to show the supreme position of Srimati Radhika and to glorify Srimati Radhika. Therefore, this is the purpose of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, Gurudev would say every syllable of Srimad Bhagavatam is simply there to glorify Srimati Radhika and the Braja Gopis, especially Srimati Radhika. When the gopis were searching, they said, Anaya Radhita Nunam Bhagavan Harir Ishvara Yanno Vihaya Govinda Prito Yat Anaya Draha. Who is that beautiful personality who has served you or worshipped you with so much adoration, with so much affection, that he has left all of us and is seeking after that specific gopi. Anaya Radhita Nunam. Radhika's name is hidden here. So therefore, Srimati Radhika is so glorious. Krishna is searching for her. In this song, Chintamani Moy, it's described that the gopis in the paksha or the group of Srimati Radhika, when they hear Krishna's flute playing, they only hear Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. So we sing Emona Shamoy, that at that time, while I'm sitting in the kunj, Murali Dhakibe, Krishna is calling out to Srimati Radhika. It comes into my ears, and I stand up thinking, what should I do? Where should I go? The mood of those gopis who are in the shelter of Srimati Radhika is only, how can I serve Swamini at this time of her need? This is the mood of the Manjaris. Only how can I serve? How can I be present there, serving Srimati Radhika, serving the divine couple? So therefore Krishna is calling out Radhe, 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 with a very pathetic tone, as Srila Gurudev say, a very deep, sorrowful tone. Krishna is playing her name on his flute and calling out to Srimati Radhika. That's why Kling, the speech mantra coming from Krishna's flute, this is glorifying Srimati Radhika. This is the symbol in the peacock feather that Krishna puts on his crown, the name Radha. This name, it said, what power does this have? Radha Nam Parama Sukadai, the name of Srimati Radhika is the giver of the supreme happiness. Therefore, even to Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Anandamaya, who is the embodiment of bliss, without Srimati Radhika and her Nam, her name, he cannot feel happiness. Radha Nam Parama Sukadai. Therefore, it's said that Krishna himself will sit and perform meditation, praying and remembering the names of Srimati Radhika. He'll chant the 108 names, the 1008 names. This is his meditation. Every day Krishna does Gayatri Mantra, meditating on the names of Srimati Radhika and worshipping her. Therefore, we cannot fathom the glories of Srimati Radhika. We can only pray to her dear associates who appear in this world, her dear maidservants. Please, one day may I become qualified to serve under your guidance. Therefore, Srila Gurudev would always, when he would start his classes, he would pray, Ha Devi Kaku Baragad Gariyaddevacha Ya Cheni Patte Buvidhanda Varud Batardati Asya Prasadam Abudasya Janasya Kritva Gandharvikeni Jagane Gananam Videhi. Please, O Srimati Radhika, falling down at the feet of your kinkaris, at your lotus feet, like a blade of grass or straw on the street, I'm begging to you. I'm falling before you like a stick. Please, when will you count me amongst your own followers? That is our only prayer. Radha Paksha Chadi Jai Jane Se Jan Jai Babe Se Babe Thake Amito Radhika Paksha Padi Sada Kabu Nahi Heri Taki. I am only Srimati Radhika's follower. Others may be so qualified, so glorious, but I will offer them pranam. I will not go there. I will not even look at their face. Jai Babe Thake. However they may be, I will not go to them. Raghunath Das Goswami prays, today is also his appearance day. Also the appearance day of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srimati Vishnu Priya Devi, and Raghunandan Thakur. Raghunath Das Goswami prayed that, oh, Rukmini may call me to Dwarka, Satyabhami may call me, I will never go. But if I hear, oh, my Swamini is there, I will fly there at once with the speed of the mind. This is the glory of Srimati Radhika. Prabodhananda Saraswati Prad praised when glorifying Radha Rasudanidhi. He says that, oh, better than being the queens of Dwarka, I would rather be a dog in Brajamandal, able to taste the remnants from the Brajabasis, and I would wait outside the temples for some prasad to be there from Srimati Radhika and Krishna. Only because he has such deep, strong devotion can he speak like this. So this is the glories. We can just touch, if we can just understand and develop a little bit of faith in this life for the Braja Gopis and for Srimati Radhika, we can understand our life is successful. One time a devotee asked Gurudev, I have so many anarthas, I have so many bad desires, lust, greed, anger, madness, illusion. Gurudev, what can I do? Gurudev asked, what do you want? He said, I want to become the Palyadasi of Srimati Radhika. Gurudev said, your life is successful. If you have developed this greed, even a scent of this greed, even an idea of the glory of this position, an aspiration to understand the glory of this position, your life is successful. Koti Janma Shravana Kirtan Tabutanapai Krishna Pade Premadan. You may perform Krishna Kirtan, hearing and chanting for millions and millions of lifetimes without ever developing this love. But if you take shelter of those associates of Srimati Radhika, of Sri Krishna, pray and take shelter of them, hear Rasik Katha from them, then Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavitamati Kriyatam Jadi Kutopi Labhyate Tatra Lolyam Apimulyam Ekalam Janma Koti Sukriterna Labhyate. That very precious thing that cannot be gained by millions and millions of lifetimes of your own pious activities will easily come within your grasp by simply taking shelter of those pure Vaishnavas whose hearts is completely colored, completely imbued with this Krishna Bhakti Ras. What is that Krishna Bhakti Ras? Without Srimati Radhika, there is no Bhakti Ras. Srimati Radhika is Bhakti Devi. Bhakti Devi is coming, her expansion. And Rasa, without Srimati Radhika, there is no Ras. Oh, eso Radhe dake pran. Tuhu vina kahara ras. Without you, where's the ras? Akila Rasamrita Murti. Krishna is Akila Rasamrita Murti, but Radha Prayan Vidur Jayati. He is glorifying Srimati Radhika. Therefore, Shri Krishna feels like without her, his life is useless. Another very sweet pastime in Vasanta Pancami is described by the Vaishnavas that when Krishna was marrying millions of gopis in the forms of all the cowherd boys, Krishna assumed all the forms of the cowherd boys at the time of Brahma Vimohan Leela, when Brahma stole the calves and cowherd boys. And so Krishna, at that time at Govinda Kund, there was thousands of fire sacrifices going on every day. Krishna was marrying all the gopis. And Radhika would witness this and think, what is this? What is this going on? And she understood, oh, this is all Krishna's pastime. This is all Krishna's clever way to marry all the gopis at once by assuming all the forms of the cowherd boys, and all the original boys are hidden away in the cave. And so Radhika developed some man, some kind of jealous mood of anger. And so what happened? It's described that she left, she hid. And for a long time, Krishna was not able to find where's Srimati Radhika. So he began to search. And hearing from Lalita Vishaka, now Radhika is very angry. Krishna thought, what can I do? So he searched and searched. Finally, taking shelter of the Sakhis of Srimati Radhika, he heard, Srimati Radhika is at it's one beautiful place called Mukutshila. From Govinda Kund, you go a little bit farther. There's a beautiful Vedi sitting place where Srimati Radhika sits, right nearby Sri Giriraj Govardhan. And Sri Krishna, he entered that area, that Kunj, and saw Srimati Radhika with her face turned aside, thinking, Krishna always says that I am his dearmost. But yet look how naughty Krishna is, how chapal, how restless, how lampat. Krishna is going without my permission, without any request. He's marrying millions and millions of gopis. And so Srimati Radhika had man. So Krishna, he went, and it's described that he fell down, sastang pranam, prostrated on the ground, and his crown fell upon the feet of Srimati Radhika. And at that point he said, Smara galla kandanam, mama sirasi mandanam, dehi pada palavam udharam. O Srimati Radhika, please, without your mercy I have no life. Therefore I'm offering myself, propitiating myself at your lotus feet, please, begging for your mercy. I am yours, I am yours. We pray to Srimati Radhika, Tavevasmi na jivami tvaya vina. Iti vigyaya radhe nayamam charanantike. O Srimati Radhika, without you I have no life. Therefore, please accept me as your own. Where do we learn these prayers? We learn these prayers from Raghunath Das Goswami prays them, but Sri Krishna prays like this. Oh Srimati Radhika, please accept me. So Krishna in this way fell down at the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. It's described that at that time, across from that place, Mukutshila, where Giriraj is present, if you go right across the Parikrama path, to the other side, you'll go to Apsara Kund. And so it's described that there Krishna went to pacify Srimati Radhika. Krishna went and took bath in that kund and appeared as a very beautiful Gandharva, dancer and musician, and began to, in a golden form, began to dance and sing to please Srimati Radhika. And pleased by his dance, Srimati Radhika also bathed in that form and became Gandharvike. Therefore, we pray Giridhari Gandharvike. Srimati Radhika became Gandharvike, the most expert dancer, singer, musician, and Krishna was Gandharva, and together they began to perform Ras. So at that point they went from Apsara Kund, a little further, Naval Kishore Kund, and then there's Giriraj's lotus feet are present there. This is called Charan Shila. Right at the tip of Giriraj Govardhan on the big side of Parikrama. Then you go right around that tip, you'll find Raghunandan's cave. And then you'll come to an area that is described to be, it's like a stadium. When you walk over, you'll see Giriraj. He's low at that point. And it goes up very gradually like a stadium where all the gopis can sit on both sides. And so then they began to perform Basanti Ras, and they began to sing and dance so sweetly that Krishna would sing to the fifth rag. But then the gopis would sing much higher, and Krishna would clap his hand and say, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Krishna would dance very sweetly and then sit down, and then Srimati Radhika would dance. In this way, they had this beautiful exhibition of divine love. And this went on for many kalpas, many days of Lord Brahma. This pastime of Ras was going on. So this is one of the beautiful pastimes of Basanti Ras. Today we remember Shri Radha-Krishna and pray to them for their shelter, for their mercy. Shri Seva Kunj, we are hearing also. This is one of the pastimes on this day, how Shri Krishna takes shelter of Srimati Radhika, places his flute at her lotus feet, and prays to her, Smara Galla Kandanam, Mama Sirasi Mandanam, Dehi Pada Palava Mudharam. While all the mandaris are looking through the foliage, like Narottam Das Thakur prays, Nikunjara Dwari Dwari Rohibogo, when will I have that great fortune? I will be able to peek through the crevices of between the lattice work of the Kunj, and I will see as Sri Krishna is bowing down at Srimati Radhika's feet, and I will think, oh, and I will chant, Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite, Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Oh, Srimati Radhika is victorious. Jai Jai Srimati Radhika. Jai Jai victorious. She is victorious. Krishna today has bowed down at her lotus feet. So therefore, on this day, Krishna prays, oh, at Apsara Kund, Naval Kishore Kund, Krishna took on a golden form. And so therefore, on this day also, he pledges, oh, I will soon come as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Therefore, Vasanta Pancami, from this point on, you can see all of Krishna is preparing to appear as Gauranga. Also, Advaita Acharya will soon appear. Lord Nityananda, Baladev will soon appear. All of Mahaprabhu's associates now start to appear. Why? Because today, oh, they're having a festival. Oh, today Radhika's mercy is received. Now everyone will become Gauranga. Completely spotless, pure inside and out, only filled with Gaura Ras. Elo Gaura Rasanadi Kodimbini Hai. Now the thunder clouds beginning to appear, amass in the sky. What is that? Gaura Ras. The thunder clouds of Gaura Ras are thundering. What is that? Audharya Leela is beginning. The magnanimous pastimes, the thunderous uproar. When they just said, what are the thunder clouds? When they've taken up all the nectar from Braja Dham, all this nectar of the Braja Basis, of Srimati Radhika's love, all the Braja Basis, all the gopis, has been brought up into the clouds of mercy, and now it's ready to shower upon the earth. That is Gaura Rasanadi Kadambini Hai. It's described that all the clouds are assembled of Gaura Ras, ready to shower down upon the earth. This very powerful mood. Why this love is so thick, so powerful, that when it will appear on earth, it is like it could shatter the earth. It's such a powerful force. That's why it said, Abhada Karuna Sindhu Katiya Muhan Gare Gare Bule Prem Amiyadavan. Lord Nityananda is coming. He breaks open the dam that's holding back the flood of prem, and he lets this deluge flow all over the land. Chandale Brahmane Kore Kalitale. At that time, the Chandales, those were the lowest caste, dog eaters even, and Brahmins embrace, roll about in the dust and dance in ecstasy, chanting Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga. Chanting Gauranga, Gaura Prema Rasarnave Setarange Jevadube, Se Radha Madhava Antaranga. Chanting the names of Gaur Nitai, taking shelter of Sri Mahaprabhu. They become immersed in this Gaura Prem, they drown in this ocean of Gaura Prem, and then when they rise up, they realize, oh, I'm in the intimate association of Sri Radha Madhava, and their lives, they appear, they realize their lives are successful. So today we are praying to Shriman Mahaprabhu, to Srimati Radhika, to Vrishabhanu Nandini Srimati Radhika, to Shri Krishna. Today is also appearance, the day of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, Srimati Vishnu Priya Devi. We heard very nicely from the Vaishnavas. We'll hear more tomorrow. Raghunandan, who has also had so much prem. One time Mahaprabhu asked his father, oh, are you the father? Is he the father? He said, he is the father. Wherever there is the most devotion, that person is the most advanced, the most senior. So therefore, Raghunandan was so glorious. There's so many wonderful pastimes of these Gaur Parishad. Therefore, we pray. We all want to taste happiness. We all want to taste bliss and ecstasy. But unless we purify our hearts of these anarthas by taking shelter of Srimati Radhika and the Braja Gopis and her associates, it'll never be possible. This age of Kali is very difficult. Kala Kalir Bhaidalina Indriya Vairi Vargas. Kantaka Khodi Ruddha. There are tens of millions of thorns on the path. How will we cross over it? But only if we take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Charan. the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, Lord Nityananda, and Guru Varga, it will be possible for us to cross over this very difficult time of Kali Yuga and take shelter of Sri Radha Madhava. So we're praying to Sri Radha Madhava, to Gurudev, to all the Guru Varga for their shelter, for their causeless mercy. Vancha kalpadurvasya kripa sindhubhyo cha Pritanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo.